If I were the devil.
This video is titled If I Were the Devil. Um, we're gonna break this video down. I've listened to this video twice before. I lost the video for a couple of months. I got back to it. We're gonna analyze and break this video down completely. If you're spiritually connected, this might make you shiver. If you're not spiritually connected and you're just living life, then it may or may not make sense to you, but this video hit different when I actually broke it down because I started to go on my spiritual journey. I was trying to, you know, and this video just it hit different when I actually had time because I found it today and I broke it down and I actually had time to break it down. I haven't even broken down the whole video. I got to a minute 41 seconds and then I stopped. So we're gonna keep going.
If I were the devil.
It is titled If I Were the Devil by Paul Harvey. You can find this on YouTube, you can find this on Google, you can find this everywhere.
If I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in.
If I were the Prince of Darkness, and by the Prince of Darkness, they say that that is Satan, aka Lucifer. Um, and in some different aspects, I think Satan slash Lucifer, well, definitely is seen as the snake. Um, but also seen as I think they called him Enlil or or I think it's something of that nature. Uh, because they say when it comes to the study of the Anunnaki, they mix up the figure Satan with the figure Enlil, I believe. But that is to be further continued. But as for right now, the Prince of Darkness, Satan, Lucifer, the snake in the garden. Let's continue.
Darkness, and I'd have a third of its real
I want to engulf the world in darkness. I still have not been able to figure that one out unless that would mean some kind of eclipse.
estate and 4/5 of its population, but
So he's working on real estate and a big portion of the population. I wouldn't be happy until I've seized the ripest apple on the tree.
I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. The.
You.
So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States.
Look at where, well, I come from, which is the U.S. Not everybody that will see this or everybody that lives in the world is in the United States. So, there we go.
I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin
So he's coming for the churches first. He's coming for every church first. Any church and every church that calls itself a church.
with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you.
With the wisdom of a serpent. Now, I also noticed that with the hospitals, you notice that with like the Blue Cross or Anthem or something like that, that it has, and also in another thing, I'll break down into that second, it has the two snakes twirling around each other. Now, if you also didn't know, in Greek mythology, Hermes has yes, it's either Hermes or Apollo, and I think it is Hermes, and it definitely is Hermes actually, that has the two twin snakes twisting across the pole of Apollo Trismegistus. What is that the staff of Hermes Trismegistus. Trismegistus. Yes. And it has the two snake, and you can see, you should be able to see, where is it? There it is. No. You can see it right here. And you can see the two twin snakes twisting around the pole. Now, also in Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters, Hermes staff. And you actually see that's Hermes right there. This is the guy playing Hermes in the Percy Jackson. Excuse me. And that's his staff. Wow, I think I can get close up on it. I think I can get a close up on it. The two twin snakes around the staff, like I just said. Let's keep going.
To you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please.
Gonna whisper to a bunch of churchgoers, do as you please.
To the young I would whisper that the Bible is a myth.
He's gonna say that the Bible is a lie. Well, which Bible are we gonna talk about? Because there's a lot of Bibles out there, a lot of them. Now, the most common Bible would be the King James Bible. But what about the Holy Quran? What about the Torah? What about the Emerald Tablets? What about the Sacred Sumerian Scrolls?
I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around.
He's going to convince them that man created God. So I'm guessing that he's going to convince them that that man came up with the idea of God and things of that nature. Man, or that God is not real, that really it's the universe around you and the star systems and aliens, and that aliens the Big Bang theory and things of that nature. Okay. All
I would
right.
confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square.
So basically, if you want to, what's bad is good. Okay, so drinking every night, going to party is the best thing in the world, and actually staying home is what squares do and what non-cool people do. Bro, I stay in the crib all day, every day. I go outside. I go, you know what I'm saying? I go outside to maybe get a beer here once in there. Maybe. I barely even try and drink like that. Smoke a blunt, but like, you know, we ain't. I ain't no square. Even if I am a square, I could care less. What? I mean, like, for real.
And the old I would teach to pray after me, our Father.
So there, and he's saying that basically God is the people that are in Washington, D.C. that make the laws and make the rules for us.
Which art in Washington.
So he's going to get them to trust in them.
And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature.
He's going to get authors how to make books have more sexual content and make them seem more interesting.
Literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull.
Or more death and things.
Not interesting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies.
I threaten TV with more death and more sex.
Movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could.
I'd peddle narcotics to just anybody I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. Bro, this is going to make me want to quit drinking. I swear to God. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction, of ones who stand out. Because, like, someone that is distinct is someone who stands out.
Alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with...
I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. Just like I said with the hospitals and the snakes. Just like I said with the hospitals and the snakes.
pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have
If I were the devil, I would soon have families at war with themselves, at churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves. Almost everywhere you go, everywhere has its own civil war going on somewhere. There's plenty of places in the US that have their own wars going on. Literally, like if you in Detroit, they have their own war zone. Compton has its own war zone. LA, Atlanta, every state has its own war zone.
families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves.
So this is it's basically saying like, bro, if I were the devil, I would literally have everybody, almost everybody, at war with themselves.
Until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmer.
And with TV and views, with TVs, content creation, and all this other stuff at its highest ratings and highest views,
Rising media fanning the flames.
I would have the fans fanning the flames, making it worse.
If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions just
But neglect to discipline emotions. So they would have them refine their knowledge to the best that they could, but neglect to show them how to manage their emotions. Wow, that's crazy.
intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions, just let those run wild.
Just let those run wild until before you knew it, you'd have drug sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. So basically, I would have the schools pushing these kids to their limits, to beyond their limits, to the point where they're just so taxed that they have to go out and do drugs and they actually ruin themselves. And now the kids are even getting messed in place with the police. This is crazy.
Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade,
Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. What the fuck happened between what happened between 2018 and 2018 and 20 right now? 2018 and right now, they've had overflowing prisons. They had to let people go and other stuff like that. Didn't they have a bunch of stuff like that going on?
prisons overflowing, I'd have judges promoting pornography.
And what happened in the courtroom with that whole Young Thug scene? Oh my God. Alright, watches more of it. Watch.
Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from
Soon you Yeah, because you have to swear in at right now. So he's saying at some point it's gonna come to a point where you don't have to swear in at a courthouse. Nah. And the Pledge of Allegiance to God. The Pledge of Allegiance. But think about it. Now that we think about it, bro, did y'all ever realize when we were in school, we did the Pledge of Allegiance? You did the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag, not to like not to any kind of like statue of Jesus or a Bible or anything. It was to the American flag. Anybody ever picked that up before? Is that just me?
from the schoolhouse and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion.
And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion.
And deify science.
And like I was saying, they're gonna, it's the whole science thing. Everyone's gonna start believing in the Big Bang Theory and things of that
I would
nature.
lure priests and
Into That's kind of some shit we've got going on now, okay?
pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas.
What the fuck? Ain't no fucking way. The symbol of Christmas is not no fucking bottle. There's no way. It's always been a snowflake. Hold on, bro. We can easily figure that one out. Yeah, yeah. Alright, so I ain't see a bottle. I haven't seen a bottle yet. Metaphorically. Because people get drunk on Christmas.
A bottle. If I were
Eggnog.
the devil, I'd take from those who have and
I would take from the rich and give to the ones who always wanted more.
give to those who wanted until I had killed.
Or I would take from those who are even complacent and give to the ones who want more that are greedy until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious, until I have killed the incentive of those that are actually trying.
The incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling.
And the I could promote whole states as the way to get rich. Think about all the casinos that people are building right now in places that casinos never were before. Never even thought to be before. Think of the places that casinos are built in the most inconvenient spots where casinos should not be built at. I know here, where I live at, there's a casino that was built right next to a college campus. Why did you build a casino right next to a college campus? For people to go and drink, smoke at, fight at, and maybe possibly getting shot at and things of that nature. Next to a school campus? That's so wild. And then if you also think about it, I'm not knocking the dude or whoever he is. You know what I'm saying? He did it, whatever it is. Um, the dude, there's a dude on the internet that apparently like he got kicked out of a bunch of casinos. They tried to lock him in his rooms and stuff like that. He had his dad come to a room with him one time, or they had two separate rooms, and like his room was in his name, but he was in his dad's room the entire time, and like the signal in his actual room that was in his name was off and everything. He couldn't do anything. They tried to blackball him and everything because he came up millions and because he also caught a casino cheating. So it was like, but he also promoted that he went from making just little thousands to making multi-millions at casinos, promoting gambling as the way to get rich. He's a multi-millionaire off of winning gambling, off of gambling. Like, all
As
right.
the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work.
I would caution against extremes. I would caution against hard work, basically. I would caution against working hard. I would caution against loving yourself and loving your country.
In patriotism, in moral conduct.
I would caution against being morally right. I would caution against making moral good decisions.
I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned.
I would convince the young that marriage is old fashioned. Hey, don't get married. Just go and have babies and don't even worry about it. That the swinging is more fun. Go and have relationships with other couples. Couples having relationships with other couples. That what you see on TV is the way to be. So everything you see on TV is just the way you should live your life. Like
That swinging is more fun. That what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you.
and you'd be the type of people or person to don't worry about it, just get naked in public and take you to bed with any kind of disease that this person could have for which there is no cure.
You into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
And in other words, if I were the devil, I would just continue to do what I'm already doing. That's the end of this one, folks. Hey, look, if you don't know how to take in what I just broke down, I don't know. But heed this word. This is for content purposes only, though. You know, I ain't say anything wrong. I ain't do anything wrong. This is for content purposes only. That's all it is. This is probably not a real poem or anything. I don't know if it is or isn't. I just seen it was a YouTube video. I thought it was kind of nice. I wanted to react to it. Yeah, this is probably off of like a comic book strip or something. You never know.